if he doesn't want his relationship to be criticized online, he's got to stop putting it out there, because that is the content creation catch-22 of us being content creators. Now, if he told me personally, do not talk about my relationships, that would have been one thing. But I have a live stream that Destiny and I were on where I do remember him telling me, as long as it's on the internet, I can talk about it. So I genuinely didn't think I was doing a bad thing when
I don't understand, like, I feel like, sometimes I feel like I'm the ultimate empath. And maybe I am the only empathetic person, and everybody else is actually autistic. Maybe. I'm trying to figure this out. So here's what I'm thinking in my head. Maybe I need to spell this out more for people, but I don't think I should. I don't think I need to. She's saying, Destiny says that if something is public about his life, I'm free to talk about it. Those are the words that are coming out of her mouth. But the idea that she's communicating is, you said this thing is public, so I can have any opinion that I want about it. That's not the same thing. So for instance, if Brittany were to say, oh yeah, like I'm very public about my OnlyFans, if you want to talk about it, that's fine. If I were to go on my stream and say like, oh, I think Brittany is an ugly fucking piece of shit and I hate her hair, right? If she were to say like, hey, that was really hurtful. Why did you go in on me like that? And I were to go, oh, well, you said that if your OnlyFans is public, I think I can talk about anything. You're not communicating the same idea there, right? It's like, that's like not the same thing. If she wants to make comments about my relationship, like technically nothing that she's even said so far is actually wrong. Me and Melina do have a relatively dysfunctional relationship. We have had a lot of crazy shit happen. We probably don't exhibit the most healthy. There's a 10-year age gap between us. It's my first open relationship. It's probably Melina's first real relationship, right? Technically nothing she's saying is really not true. But the constant comparisons to like my internet adversary, whose like entire field calls me like a cuck and goes in on me, and who he kind of goes in on me a little bit, and then the constant like derisive comments made and like this condescending tone makes everything feel a little bit different, right? So for instance, like I think her relationship is a little bit crazy. The fact that she's met this guy for such a short amount of time and she's ready to uproot her whole life and go live with him, that's kind of crazy. I think the way that I just said that right now is understandable. It's okay. And if she were to watch me say that, I think she would agree. She'd be like, yeah, it is pretty non-traditional. It is pretty crazy, but yeah, I'm trying it. That's fine. But I could say that another way, where it's like, I don't know why she would charge money for people to take any bit of advice from her ever when she's doing one of the most horrible relationship things ever. And when this blows up in 5 years, I hope she loses all of her clients for being clueless. Right? I could say this essentially the same thing, but that way. And I think she would have a huge problem with the latter and not the former, right? I don't know how she doesn't understand that. Saying that like, well, it's public so I can comment on it doesn't mean that you can say whatever you want about it. That's like not, that's just, I don't understand how I don't know if I need to spell that out more. If I'm not autistic here. Either all of you are autistic and I'm hyper empathetic, or I don't know. That's a difficult one for, I don't understand. I don't know what's happening there. If she's like kind of coping or trying to shirk responsibility or something, or if I truly don't understand that. I'm not sure. That's really weird for me. But I think you don't portray that to people that with the words you use. Yeah, but now I'm trying to think like, do I really need to say that? I don't know if I want to live in this world. Or I do. I just won't have any friends. But I think I'm okay with that. Like I do well with like a relatively low number of friends. I don't know if I want to be surrounded by people that I have to make that explicit to. I really don't think I'd want to. I think I'm okay having like 3 friends and that's fine. Like if I have to tell somebody like, hey, if you go on stream, like don't like roast the fuck out of me and make like a ton of personal insults. Like I don't think I ever want to have that conversation with somebody. You always say you don't care, so people assume it's fine. I know it's dumb. Okay, but when I say I don't care about comments made about me online, maybe I need to spell this out more. I don't know. When I say I don't care about comments, what I mean is that like these things do not leave deep emotional scars in me when people attack me, right? I'm relatively impervious to that. I've got a lot of resiliency there. But like if Erudite came on stream and she was like, yeah, we stayed with Nick and Melina, and I just like, Steven was actually a huge fucking asshole. Pretty sure he would have raped me if Nick wasn't there. And when we went climbing, he barely spoke to me and he was just a huge fucking piece of shit. Like if Erudite said that, I'd be kind of like, oh, well, that's pretty fucked. I'm a little upset about that. That sucks you think that. If she were to say something like, well, you said that nothing online bothered you. So what do you mean by that? What do you mean when you said it? You said nothing online bothered you, right? You said nothing, like, is Is that really how we're taking that comment? Is that what we're taking that to mean? Or like if Melina goes on stream and she's like, God, I wish I would have stayed with my fucking other friends in fucking New Zealand. Like Steven is a fucking asshole piece of shit. And I'm like, Melina, bro, we're married. Why would you say that? And she's like, you said that nothing online hurts you. Are you lying? Did you lie about that? Did you misrepresent that? You have to understand you're being incredibly unclear when you say nothing hurts you. Like that's, I don't know if I actually have to spell that out or not. Maybe I do. Maybe I'm making way too many assumptions about people. I don't know. That in my mind, that's a relatively. The thing is that like when I'm fighting with people, maybe I should spell this out more. When I'm fighting with people, in my mind, I'm hyper aware of so many different boundaries that exist at any given point in time. Like. Name a person. Like with Erudite, if I'm talking to Erudite and we're joking a lot, I'm probably not going to make any jokes about her background, about her being a virgin before Nick, about Nick and her having, I think they said publicly that they had like a rocky relationship for a while. Probably not going to make any jokes about her job right now because President Sunday is going in on it. Probably going to stay away from appearance jokes just because for women it's generally not a good thing to do. Probably not going to be ultra heavy flirty because our relationship, like there are all of these things that I keep in mind for how I engage with people. There are some things I will go really hard on, like maybe, like you stream on a lot of different platforms, maybe orbiter jokes, maybe joking a little bit about her gymming with Nick, maybe joking about like her rock climbing stuff with Nick, maybe joking about like showing up on red pill shows or being a pick me maybe, right? Things that I think she's a bit more scared. Like I feel like I'm hyper aware of like all of these things when I'm interacting with people. But then I feel like when people come into my orbit, they're like, oh, nothing bothers you? I think you're a shitty father. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, oh, well, you joke about things with people all the time, and you said that nothing online bothers you. And I'm like, I don't know if do I have to like explicitly, I just don't know. I'm not really sure. I feel like when I'm arguing with people, like even with Lav, and when I was like shitting with Lav, like when we were closer, like I'm not gonna make fun of her for our sexual interaction. I'm not gonna make fun of her for anything relating to her husband. Probably not gonna go in on her for things related to her mom or her relationship there. Probably not gonna dig into her for anything related to OnlyFans or sex work. Right now, past our blowout, all of this shit is fair game. But like even when I'm friends with Lav, same thing with Mr. Girl too. When we were friends, like I feel like when I'm interacting with people, there are all of these different types of boundaries where it's like I'll go really hard on you, but it's gonna be on some shit that I know is not gonna hurt you, right? So with Live, it might be like her attitude. It might be the fact that she can be like super cunty sometimes. It might be the fact that she, tweets out a lot of shit and fights people back when we were friends, not after we were enemies, right? Or with Max, I might make fun of like his art shit, about being a pedophile, about having edgy opinions, but I'm not gonna go on like his relationship with his dad, Sorry, I like maybe I could do this for every single person that comes on stream. For every single person that comes on stream, there are things when Dan is on stream. Okay. Well, hold on. I don't want to, okay, hold on. Now I just realized a bad idea. I don't want to name all these things because now if there's assholes in the audience, they're going to go in on like everything that they think is the most vulnerable spot of somebody. But like, I'm just saying like when I interact with people, there are so many things, like I'm not going to touch these things because I know that like it's going to hurt you a lot if I do this. Like this is an area that you are either lacking confidence in, or it's a sore spot, or something that like is genuinely harmful or hurtful to you. I know all of these things. I'm always aware of these things. And I expect other people to kind of be as well. So like if you were interacting with Destiny, what are some things that you can make fun of me for? Stuff related to streaming, stuff related to going AFK a lot, getting banned all the time from platforms, being too edgy, wanting to murder people, whatever. This is like all fine, Even like maybe fighting with Melina. If you know me a little bit better, you can go like, oh, don't you like fight with Melina? That's fine. But same thing is like anything relating to my son. I don't really wheel him out on the internet much at all. I post stories sometimes when I hang out with him. Like actually going in on my relationship with Melina, like to say that it's actually like horrible or dysfunctional or whatever. Comparing my body to other guys is like a little bit weird. I feel like body stuff, unless it's like something that I'm joking with, like a gym flare in stream chat, maybe like Hillshire or Gojo or whatever. Like I feel like there are some things where it's like it's kind of obvious that this is like a thing you probably just shouldn't go in on. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I might just be insane. I don't know if these are, my assumption is everybody knows these things, but I guess it's not true, because when people copy, like a lot of people say that I neg people, or some people copy my style of negging, and then when I watch them do it, they're just mean to people. And I'm like, I'm actually really never mean to somebody that I'm like friendly with on stream. You might see me banter a lot, and you might see me go really hard on somebody, but it's always in some shit where it's like, it's not like, I'm not actually like trying to make them sad or upset. Like me and Lily, or me and Alexandria Botez, we bantered a lot, and it's really hard. We go really hard, but it's not on some like shit that I think is actually gonna make them, feel bad, right? I would never do that. I never do that. I don't want anybody to feel bad that I'm like joking with that way. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't really know what the, I don't know if these are things I need to be more explicit about. I'm not sure. As I say all of this, there are going to be times where I probably make mistakes. There are times where I've leaned into a topic and I didn't realize it was really sensitive for somebody on a stream. There are going to be times where I make a joke that actually does hit somebody in a wrong way, and I don't know. And you know, like when I called Lava bitch, right? I didn't think that she would get that upset at it because she throws around a lot of language. And I DM'd her and I was like, oh shit, I'm sorry. I won't call you a bitch if that's like something that actually genuinely upsets you. Like I'll DM somebody and I'll apologize for it if I really feel like I crossed a line. And so I expect with other people, there could be times where they cross the line with me too, where it's like, hey, this is not cool to make a TikTok clip of me being a racist. I'm just kidding. It's like I don't. It's not cool when you like do this particular type of joke. Like it's kind of like hurtful or whatever. But I feel like with my boundaries are so small. Like you have to go pretty hard on me to feel like you're doing something really inappropriate. Because most of the shit in my life I'm okay to joke about. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. It's so weird.